Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So in today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make this pencil skirt, this straight skirt with a slit behind. So guys, if you find this interesting, do not forget to hit on the like and the subscribe button, and do well by turning on your notification bell so you can get notified whenever we post a new video. So guys, this tutorial is so simple and easy to make. I'll be teaching you how to do the cutting and the stitching as well. So guys, let's get straight into the video. So right now we are just going to determine what's going to be on fold. So what you are going to do, your hip divided by 4, the hip measurement we are using is 44, divided by 4 is 11. So make sure you add extra inch, okay? So because I want to follow this pattern, I'm just going to fold into 2 like so, then I'll cut off the excess. So next thing, I went ahead to mark the zipper allowance, okay? So I'm going to be marking 2" as my zipper allowance. Go ahead and mark until you get to the hem of this skirt, okay? Mark your zipper allowance. Then I went ahead to cut the front pattern as well, like we did for the back. So next, I went ahead to place them together, and I'm going to mark this as my start line. So this is going to have a band. I'll go ahead and place my 1.5 inches off. Then I'll go ahead and mark 8.5 as my hip line. Okay, so place your tape 1.5 inches off. Then you are going to mark your knee line, and the knee line we are using is 21. So just go ahead and mark 21. Then just like you see me doing, remember we are actually drafting on the front part. The front and the back, they are together. So next, I'm going to place my tape on my new knee line. Just continue and mark your full length, okay? Just remember our knee line is 21. Place your tape there, then mark 39.5 inch. So I went ahead to secure with my safety pin, because this extra allowance that we have will serve as a lining to the main fabric, okay? So on the waistline, I'm going to mark my waist measurement divided by 4 is 8.5. Then I'm going to add 1 inches dart and 2" seam allowance. 1" dart, 2" seam allowance. Then on the hip line, I'm going to be marking my hip divided by 4, which is 11. Go ahead and mark your 11. Then I'm going to add 2" for the seam allowance. So I went ahead to connect from the waist to the hip, okay, with my curve. So next, on my knee line, I'm going to be measuring what I have on my hip line. So I have 13. You subtract 2 from it. Then if you subtract 2, you are going to have 11. So that means you are going to mark 11 on your knee line, okay? Then I'm going to connect from my hip to my knee line, just like you see me doing, okay? So to the hem of this skirt, I'm going to mark the same thing I measured on my knee line, which is 11. I'll go ahead and mark it on the hem of my skirt. Then I'll connect the point from the knee line to the hem of this skirt. Just go ahead and watch what I'm doing. Remember, we are cutting both the front and the back together. So I went ahead for the zipper allowance. I went ahead to mark 1.5 inch on the waistline and on the hip line, okay? Just go ahead and mark it down. Then from the hip line, I'll just come down by 6 inch, then extend that 1.5 inches. So just go ahead and cut out like you see me doing, okay? This skirt is going to have a slit behind. So this is it. So next, I'm just going to be cutting this out, okay? Just go ahead and cut out on the lines that we marked, and make sure you arrange this carefully, okay? Just go ahead and cut out. So for the side, the zipper allowance, I'm just going to notch this other side. We are going to be adding a lining to this, okay? So go ahead and notch this other part, then remove your safety pin and open up the center back. This is the center back where we are going to have our slits. So go ahead and open it up because it's actually unfold. So on the waistline, I'm going to trim off this. We are going to add just half of an inch seam allowance. So just go ahead and cut off or trim off like you see me doing. Next, I'm going to impute my bust span measurement, and my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 divided by 2 is 4. So I'm just going to notch like so. I'm going to be stitching my darts there. Then I'm going to notch my zipper allowance just like you see me doing, the place that I marked. So guys, I'm just going to mark the wrong side from the right side, so you don't mix this up. I've gone ahead to place my fabric on my lining. So for this, I'm just going to place my lining half of an inch in between the lining and the actual fabric, okay? Because this actual fabric is going to have both the lining and the actual fabric as the lining. I don't know if I'm making sense, but just watch what I'm doing if you don't understand what I'm saying. So just go ahead and cut this out like you see me doing, okay? For the front, I'm going to reduce the front by half of an inch, the center front. Then I'll just go ahead and trim it up so that my skirt can sit well on my waist, okay? Just go ahead and trim off like so. Then you're going to mark your bust span measurement now. Go ahead and notch it again since we've trimmed it off. As you can see, the lining is way shorter than the actual fabric, okay? So this is it. This is the front. I'm going to cut the same thing for the back. I'll repeat the same thing for the back. Go ahead and place your lining like so. Then just go ahead and cut out, okay? So this is what you should have. Just go ahead and cut like you see me doing. Also, endeavor to notch your lining piece as well. Notch the bust span where you will be stitching your darts. Then this is the down part of our skirt. So I'll go over to my machine. I'm going to stitch the dart separately on the lining and on the actual fabric. I'll repeat the same thing to the front as well. So guys, after I was done stitching, this is what it looks like, and I went ahead to join the lining to the fabric. So next I'm going to turn this to the wrong side, okay? That is the right side facing each other. Just go ahead and turn it like so. Then I'm going to be stitching half of an inch all the way down. Then I'll stitch the other side as well. Just go ahead and stitch these two sides. I'll repeat the same thing to the second piece. And also for this front, I've gone ahead to stitch the darts. Then I'm going to place them together, right side facing each other. I'll go over to my machine and stitch the side using half of an inch, okay? I'll do the same thing to the other side as well. Stitch using half of an inch, then I'll turn it out, iron, and show you what it looks like. So guys, after I was done ironing, this is what it looks like. Can you see it looking beautiful already? So make sure you have something like this. So next I'm going to place both the front and the back together just like you see me doing. Go ahead and place them together and impute your body measurement. Okay, so on the waistline, I'm just going to be measuring like what I have, and I have about 19. So my seam allowance is 2 inch. I've stitched 1 inch, half of an inch in already. So that means I'm going to be stitching 1.5 on both sides. So I'm going to place my tape and mark the hip line. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Place your tape 1.5 inches off, then mark it as your hip line. Then the hip measurement we are using is 44. So what we have divided by 2 is 22. What I have is 25. So I'm going to be minusing 25 from 22, that is 23. So divide the 3 into 2, 1.5 inch on both sides. That's what I'm going to be measuring. Next, I'm going to be marking my nail measurement. So the nail line I'm using is 20. Go ahead and repeat the same thing to the other side. Then mark 1.5 inch on both sides. Okay, just go ahead and mark 1.5 inch on both sides. I'm going to measure to be sure of the value that I have, and this is okay. when you get to the hem of this skirt, you're just going to mark the same 1.5 as well. Go ahead and mark 1.5 inch. So right now I'm going to be connecting my points together from the nail to the hem of this skirt. Also, I'm going to connect from the hip line to my nail, and also from my hip line to the waistline with my curve. So you're going to repeat the same thing to the second side as well. Go ahead and connect just like you see me doing. Next, I'll go to my sewing machine. I'm going to be stitching on the line that we just marked. Go ahead and stitch both the front and the back together. Then you're going to repeat the same thing to the other side as well. Also, this is going to be my bands. This is 5 inch. I went ahead to fold in half of an inch. Then you go ahead and fold it into two. Make sure you give it a good press and make sure you have enough of this. Okay, so after I was done stitching, I'm going to be stitching my band. The other part that is not folded, I'll go ahead and fold the side like so. Then I'll place it on the wrong side of my skirt. I'm going to be stitching using half of an inch. You're going to stitch it all the way around until you get to the other end. So guys, after I was done stitching, this is what it looks like. I'm just going to turn it like so, and I'm going to top stitch. Go to your machine and top stitch like you see me doing. I'm going to top stitch the band to the skirt, and I'll do that and show you what it looks like. So after I was done doing that, this is what it looks like. So next, I'm going to fold this into two. I'm going to be marking from my waistline. I'm going to be marking about 9 inch. That's where my zip is going to stop. So place your tape on the waistline, then mark about 9 inch like so. Then from that 9 inch, I'm going to be marking 1 inch. Remember, we left 1.5 as our zipper allowance. So from this other point, I will be marking 1.5 because we left 2 inch for the slit behind. So just go ahead and connect like so. Just go ahead and connect, and from the hem of my skirt, I'm going to be measuring 22 inch. Okay, just go ahead and mark 22 inch. My stitch is going to stop at that point, so my slit is going to start from this point. Okay, so just go to your machine. You are going to be stitching on the line that I just marked. Then I'm going to be fixing my zipper to this skirt as well, and I'll show you what next to do. So guys, after I was done fixing my zipper, this is what it looks like. Can you see? It's looking beautiful already. Next, I'm going to be hemming my overlap. This is an overlap skirt, so I'm just going to fold like so. Go ahead and fold 1.5 inch, like a continuation from the stitch. So I'm going to use my needle and thread to tack this together. Just go ahead and tack it in such a way that it's not going to appear when you turn it to the right side. So you're just going to be picking just the lining. Okay, just go ahead and tack like you see me doing. You are going to be tacking in 3 or 4 places just to secure this very well. So guys, if you are here to subscribe to this channel, please do well by subscribing to our channel and share this video, like and drop a comment. Do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you can get notified whenever we post a new video. Thank you for always watching my video. Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate this. So right now our skirt is almost ready. We are almost through with this project. So this is it. This is the final outcome. I'll turn it to the right side so you all can see. This is what it looks like. I'm going to wear it on the mannequin and show you what it looks like. It's looking beautiful already, and I love the outcome. So if you find this helpful, do not forget to hit on the like and the subscribe button. This is the outcome. This is the final outcome. So guys, our pencil skirt is looking so beautiful, looking so elegant. So I just want you to watch this video and try this out, try this method. Okay, so guys, until I see you in my next video, bye.